Hello guys and welcome. This is Revolution. So we're back with another Wednesday night live stream. We have the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie trailer dropping in just 2 days at the New York Comic Con, where Masako Nozawa, the director of the Dragon Ball Super movie, Nagamine, as well as Sean Schemmel, the English voice actor for Goku, will be in attendance and the trailer will drop. Now, there's lots of speculation about who will actually be appearing in this trailer, but there's heavy inclinations that Bardock, Paragus, as well as Gine, Goku's mother, will get heavy advertisement in this trailer. Apparently, it's going to put a lot of focus on the differences between the past and the present, and that's what we're going to get. There's obviously still a lot of speculation regarding Gogeta potentially being in this trailer, but we don't have any confirmation of that yet. Of course, we won't actually find out until it's actually out on Friday. But I want to know what your speculation is on this movie, what you would like to see in this upcoming trailer. This will probably be the second of 3 trailers, by the way, guys. I can't guarantee that, but it will most likely be 3 trailers before the movie comes out on December the 14th, as that's the usual go around for a movie. They usually have 3 trailers. Anyway, I'll start looking at some of your comments and your questions. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you want. I'll do this for an hour, and you know the drill. If you've been on these live streams before, I'll answer as many questions as I can. Okay, let's go. Klaus Amis, sup, he's here. I'm happy your channel is growing. Thank you, Klaus. It is growing. It's going from strength to strength, and I really do appreciate everybody's continued support for Revolution. You know what, guys? Over the next 3 or 4 months, the Dragon Ball community is going to be hyped. There's some big things going down, especially if the new Dragon Ball Super Series gets announced at the Jump Fest 2019. It's going to blow up again, just like when Dragon Ball Super first started. Hello Giovanni and hello Jacob. Klaus, I remember when you did that vid on Android 17 will win the tournament to power. Yeah, that was a very good prediction by me. If I do say myself, don't want to blow my head up too big, but a few months ago, I also predicted that Bardock would be in the Broly movie before I knew the movie was about Broly. Before, basically, I based it off information that we have, which is what I really do in all my theory videos. I base it off information we've received, official information, and I kind of come to a conclusion from that. Not a conclusion, obviously, because it's not confirmed if it's a theory, but I come to kind of an idea of where it could be leading. And I said a few months ago that Bardock will be in this upcoming movie, and it's very likely that he will do. I know it was kind of indicated in the first trailer as well, because we see the Dragon Ball Minus clip. Well, it's not the clip, but we kind of see something that kind of shows you what we kind of saw in Dragon Ball Minus. But it's likely that this trailer number 2 will be focusing heavily on Bardock, the father of Goku. And I also predicted Golden Frieza would return as well in Dragon Ball Super way before it actually did. Sorry, I'm bigging myself up a little bit there. I've got things wrong as well. I've got things massively wrong. Even though they've been sound theories at the time of release, I've got things massively wrong. So I don't get everything right. D. Wills says he's still trying to become a Super Saiyan. You know what, D? I am as well. But, you know, we can't give up. The one thing we've ever learned from Goku is never give up. Keep getting back up. Keep trying to become a Super Saiyan. That's my only advice to you. If somebody's going to do it, why can't it be you? Easy Legend is not that hyper for this movie, to be honest. He really dislikes Broly. Yeah, I don't really like Broly from the original Dragon Ball Z movies, and when I kind of found out it was Broly, I was kind of like, really? But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to give the movie a chance because good things are coming out about it. It does seem to be have a bit more depth than the original Dragon Ball Z movies did. Well, at least the Broly movies, because the original Broly movies had no depth whatsoever. And obviously it's going to be having an impact on the mainstream continuity of Dragon Ball Super, which kind of gives it an added bit of emphasis. But yeah, I can understand your concern, because it is very what would be the word? Fan servicey. It sounds very fan servicey, and I don't think fan service is always a bad thing if they do it right. But I can definitely understand your concern. But I am hyped for the movie. I am hyped for the movie. When I heard about Gogeta, I was more iffy and awry about that, if you get what I mean. Klaus says, "How have I been? I've been very good. I've been working a lot lately. If any of you guys are in the UK, Seicon is coming. I've been heavily involved in the preparation for Seicon, which will be a UK Dragon Ball convention. So if you're ever in the UK or you ever want to visit the UK, next year we'll have our very own convention. So keep an eye out on that. I'm posting a lot about it on my Twitter at the minute. You can find my Twitter link in the information section to this live stream. Come follow me on Twitter and you'll see the Seicon tweet posted. So yeah, do that because it's going to be a pretty hype event. There's a lot of people interested in that event. Dragon Ball YouTubers, voice actors. It's going to be pretty lit. We've got some great ideas. Did you miss something, Jaheim Young? I don't think so. Not so far. It's only been 6 minutes. D Wills, Easy Legend. I bet you wouldn't say that to Broly's face. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe Easy Legend's even bigger than Broly. Maybe he's a beefcake. Are you Easy Legend? You should answer that question. I want to know, are you a bigger beefcake than Broly? How powerful is the Dragon Fist? Hard to tell really, Jaheim, but you keep asking me to do it in the comment section. And I do read all your comments, guys, on my videos. I can't reply to absolutely everything. Otherwise, I don't think I'd leave the chair. But I am looking at covering the Dragon Fist in a video. It's a very good topic, and you do bring up good points. But because the Dragon Fist is only canon to mainly the movies in GT at the moment, it's actually kind of hard to find information. It's kind of hard to find information on Gogeta, in fact, because he isn't canon to the mainstream continuity. Even though even though those movies are covered in the Daizenshu and the Super Exciting Guys, the information in them is quite few and far between. But I am looking at the Dragon Fist. It's just this week in particular is going to be very Broly. I mean, the last few months have been very Broly heavy in terms of content output. But you know, I will hopefully have a Dragon Fist video out soon. I won't be surprised if we see Dragon Fist in the actual film anyway. It's a very high possibility. When is it dropping? Ask Coolest Caspar. It's this Friday. In American times, it's in the evening. So it's going to be very late evening for me. I will be covering it on Revolution, so stay tuned. Jaheim says he wishes Sonic was in Jump Festa. Well, he'd have to be a Shonen Jump character to be in Jump Festa. So that's why he's not in Jump Festa. But it would be cool to see more Sonic content. I would really love a Sonic Adventure free game, to be honest. Giovanni Yancey says he hates Overlord with a passion. Okay. Easy Legend says, if you could fix God Key, what would you change about it? It's not that I think God Key needs changing. I just think they could have given a lot of people God Key rather than just Goku and Vegeta. Frieza's power-up would make sense if they just said it was God Key. Easy explanation. And obviously I'm just throwing ideas out here. Frieza, as far as we know, doesn't have God Key. Android 17 or Android 17 picking up on God Key, that would, explain why he's at the power level he is at least in the anime. And then, of course, future Trunks with his Super Saiyan Rage. Just say it's got God Key, and then people stop thinking all these power-ups are bullshit. Because, obviously, the big reason that Goku got that strong with Super Saiyan God was because the ritual allowed him to convert his regular ki to God Ki, and God Ki is far more a potent ki source than regular ki. And I know you can get characters like Jiren who use regular ki, or at least we believe he uses regular ki because Dragon Ball Super was so vague it never actually told us. You can get as powerful as that with regular ki, but God Ki, if you have as much God Ki as you have regular ki, you'll be far stronger with the God Ki. But yeah, it's not that I'd fix the God Ki. I like the God Ki concept, but I would just share it out. Share it out with the other characters. Say that Frieza found some sort of god that allowed him to unleash God Ki, and that's what his golden state is. But that's what I would do. That's My biggest problem with Dragon Ball Super are the bullshit power-ups for the likes of Ultimate Gohan, Android 17, Future Trunks with his Super Saiyan Rage, and even who else was I about to say? Golden Frieza, because okay, we got a slight explanation for Golden Frieza, but it wasn't a very good one. Majin Buu or Majikaio, it would be a great fight, Jiren the Grey. You slapped Majikaio, and you'd most likely slap Majin Buu as well, but that would be a great fight. On my video yesterday, I did Majin Buu versus Demon Broly. I talked about how there could be potential connections with their demon connections. Obviously, Broly's Berserk state or legendary Super Saiyan state in the manga is referred to as a demonic Saiyan. And obviously, Majin Buu has a lot of connections with the Makaio Shin realm. Well, not the Makaio Shin realm, that would be the wrong word to use. The demon world. So there could be connections there. And obviously, Majin Buu is a powerful villain, but obviously he's been surpassed by quite a few people now. But in terms of his abilities, it's absolutely incredible, really. He was meant to be a final villain, Majin Buu was. Jamel Fibido, I hope I pronounced your name right. Do this. Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Cosmic Capsule Corp Gogeta. Gogeta. Is that like a fusion between Gogeta and Vegito? Super Saiyan Blue 4 as well. That would be a wacky video, Jamel. And I hope I pronounced your name right. Can Goku use the Kaioken technique with Super Saiyan God? He should be able to logically. In fact, it should be easier for him to use it with Super Saiyan God than Super Saiyan Blue, because Super Saiyan Blue uses the Super Saiyan transformation stacked on top of Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan is actually a very draining transformation. I know they're very used to it now, but it's still obviously far more draining than just using your base power, which ultimately is what Super Saiyan God is. It's like a base God form. Even though it says Super Saiyan in the title, Super Saiyan God, it's actually more akin to his regular ki transform into God ki. Whoa, I just lost where I was. Give me 1 sec to get back. Okay. Easy Legend said, yeah, I think Easy Legend has just confirmed that he's even bigger than Broly. When I see Broly in the next few weeks, I'm going to tell him though, Easy Legend, so I hope you're prepared. Giovanni Ansi, I think this movie should be as long as a Transformer movie. I've not really watched many of the recent Transformer movies. How long are they? This movie is probably going to be around 2 hours long, which is really long for an anime movie. Originally, it was intended to be an hour and a half. In fact, Akira Toriyama actually had a 3-hour script for this movie. And that's why I talked about the other day that if they were to make a new series, which is looking likely, if they retold the Broly movie like they retold Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F, the only way I wouldn't mind them redoing that, because they did it unsuccessfully in the first series, the only way I wouldn't mind them doing that is if they gave us all of that 3-hour script that Toriyama originally wrote, because they've had to cut the movie down, and that's understandable because you can't have a 3-hour anime movie. I know most hardened Dragon Ball fans would actually watch it, I would, but at the same time, I can understand why for a theatrical release they're not having a 3-hour movie. Jaheim Young says, I want the Dragon Fist and Super Saiyan absorb Spirit Bomb in Broly movie and the returning Dragon Ball Super. I think Dragon Ball Super will return. We could get Dragon Fist. They'd have to make a good explanation as to why he knows Dragon Fist, because he's never actually been taught it in the mainstream canonicity. Super Saiyan absorbed Spirit Bomb. Is that one he used in Android 13 movie? I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it would be cool. I won't rule anything out. Literally, I think one thing we've learned over the last few months with the announcement of Broly, potential announcement of Gogeta in this movie, the potential announcement of Bardock in this movie, is don't rule anything out. I mean, Bardock was always canon anyway because he's Goku's father. He was in a panel in the Namek saga, even though it didn't really go into depth about it. And obviously everyone's really hyped about well, not everyone's hyped. Everyone really likes the episode of Bardock story. But at the same time, that's actually not canon to the mainstream canonicity. Dragon Ball Minus is, which features Bardock. And even though he looks the same, he's actually a bit of a different character. It doesn't mean he didn't fight against Frieza when Frieza blew up Planet Vegeta, but you don't see that in Dragon Ball Minus. Easy Legend asks, can I make a video on who is more deadlier between Goku Black and Hit? I've considered making a verse battle between those many times actually, but I guess that's a good spin to put on it rather than just have Goku Black versus Hit. Who's more deadly? If I had to say off the cuff now who's more deadly, I'd probably say Hit because he's a trained assassin, even though Goku Black's far more savage. But I'd definitely have to look into it because that was an off the cuff answer. Which designer Broly is better in your opinion, the new movie one or the old? For me, the new one. So you like the new one. I like the new one as well. I really like the Shintani designs, to be honest. I think Shintani really captures facial expressions. He really nails the eyes, in my opinion. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this Broly. The Super Saiyan Broly in the old movies just looked a bit farcical as well, really. I'm hoping they kind of dialed down a bit on that in the upcoming movie. And yeah, I mean, he's just alpha, isn't he, really, Broly? Easy Legend says the old Broly design is better. Oh, and he's confirmed that he is a beefcake. I mean, yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, my opinion may be slightly biased for that because I personally didn't really like the old Broly movies. I thought they were cool to watch because the fight scenes were great, but ultimately I just weren't that into them. I preferred BoJack Unbound. I preferred Fusion Reborn. So yeah, the Broly movies were great, but they weren't my favourite Dragon Ball Z movies. Dragon Ball Fist is actually 10 times your power. Goku used it on a Mega who was 10 times stronger than before. Says Godly Ninja. That's interesting. I'll take your word for it. I'd have to look that up, and maybe I'll consider doing the video about it, but you give me no reason to disbelieve you. There we go. I'm just going to take a short little break and have a glass of water. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. God of Bacon. Wow, you are an impressive god. You are one of my favourite gods. I hope he asks Vegeta what his power level is. Who? You talking about Broly? Javon King says, sup. Sup, Javon? Klaus, haha, I'm so happy. An Easy Legend on Shane making a vid about who's more deadlier. Would be fun, though I would say Goku Black True Hit is deadly to Goku. Killed all the humans with Zamasu. So, okay. Just, obviously, it's fine if you guys talk to each other, but just at someone so I don't read them out, because if it's not meant for me, nobody else wants to watch this live stream later on for other people's comments where they're replying to somebody else. Hello, Donald Harper. Javon King. Can't wait for the second trailer. I can't as well. I'm quite hyped about the second trailer, to be honest, because from what I've heard, they're going to show the differences between the past and the present, and that, for me, is filling out more lore to the Dragon Ball world, and that's what I really love about Dragon Ball. Does Jiren have infinite speed because he was able to move in stopped time? There's a lot of things pointing to the fact that they may be at immeasurable speeds now. I wouldn't assert it yet, but there's a lot leading to that, especially in the Tournament of Power, especially with Dispo and what was Dispo's super? I think it was something like super fast mode or something like that. And then there was also the narrator said Goku and Jiren were fighting at next dimension levels. I don't know if that was hyperbole. I'd have to kind of look a bit more into it. But, if you do the key multiplication scaling on their speed, they would be stupidly fast by now. Edgar Grimaldino asks, Beerus Hakai present Zamasu. Zeno erased future Zamasu and Frost. Frost gets revived after the 17 wish to restore universes and its people, basically. Do you believe Zamasu was revived as well? I'm not sure Zamasu, the one that was Hakai by Beerus, would have been, but the future Zamasu, the astral Zamasu, the immortal Amasu, I'm mixing up my words there, immortal and Zamasu, immortal Zamasu, universal Zamasu, whatever you want to call him, there's a lot of different terms for him. The one that spread throughout the timelines, he was erased. So if that wish did truly bring back everything that Zeno's ever erased, then it could bring back future Zamasu. I did do a video on that once. I actually can't remember what it's called, to be honest, but I did do a video on that once, talking about the possibility. It could be a possibility, and it could be an avenue for them to bring Zamasu back. But I don't know if they'll go in that direction. I think if they do go in any direction with the vagueness of Android 17's wish, it will be bringing back the 6 universes that were erased by Zeno in the past. I think it was episode 47, I believe, where Whis told Goku and Vegeta there used to be 18 universes, not 12, but Zeno erased 6 of them. I'm hoping they do bring those 6 universes back, but it's very possible that they could play on the Android 17 wish and bring everything back that Zeno's ever erased. And of course that would mean the future timeline as well. Sorry, I just lost where I was again. It's great that I'm getting a lot of comments, guys, and a lot of questions. This is what I want to do. I want to answer as many of you guys' questions as possible. You give me so much by checking in on my channel, Revolution, and watching my videos and giving your feedback and joining in the discussions. So this is what I want to do with these live videos. This is basically me giving back to you guys, trying to answer as many of your questions as I can. Unfortunately, I can only do an hour at a time because when I was doing longer, I was literally losing my voice and unable to make a video for the next few days. So I do have to keep it down to an hour. So Javon says the trailer comes out on Friday. Yes, it does, at New York Comic Con. Nagamine, the producer for the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, will be on a panel. Though I actually did see a bit of news. I don't know if it was legit news or not, or someone was just making something up on Twitter that Nagamine might not actually be on the panel anymore because he's had something come up. I'd have to actually double check that because I saw that information and then I actually had to go to work, so I weren't really able to follow up on it. But also Masako Nozawa, the Japanese voice actor for Goku, I would love to meet her. That is one person who I'd really love to get to talk to. And then Sean Schemmel, the English voice actor for Goku, will also be there as well. A Transformer movie usually is close to 3 hours. I mean, that's a long movie. You're talking about the live action movies? Are you talking about the anime Transformer movies? How powerful is Soul Punisher? I do not know, to be honest. Do you think Ultra Instinct Goku will beat Broly? Keep in mind, if Goku hadn't used the improved technique like Hit used, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku would have lost. And that is true. And I keep saying that in my videos, that Ultra Instinct isn't impenetrable. It's an amazing ability to have. But what Goku kind of used in the Tournament of Power against Jiren, Awakened Jiren at least, was some sort of pure progress-like ability. It was either a Rage Boost or pure progress. But yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like he was that angry because he managed to block the attack. It wasn't like a rage moment in the Namek saga when Krillin got killed, or a rage moment when Cell stepped on Android 16's head. He kind of just decided to power up, really. And it felt like a pure progress moment, like what Hit shown in the God of Destruction tournament. Which annoyed me, actually, that Hit didn't do anything like that in the Tournament of Power. I know he kind of couldn't really do anything against Jiren, especially when his time cage didn't work. But yeah, I mean, if Goku didn't use that pure progress-like ability, Goku would have lost to Awaken Jiren. He was losing. He was down. He was out. Goku was actually on the floor. People I still get people in my videos when I say that Ultra Instinct Goku can actually lose to somebody, saying no, nothing can hit Ultra Instinct. Well, in the Tournament of Power, he got hit 6 times. He literally got pummeled in the head 6 times. People just won't accept it. It's fanboyism, really, to be honest. But you know. Okay, Jaheim Young. Should a Smash Bros. And J-Star Jump Force crossover ever happen? If it was an actual crossover thing, I wouldn't want it in place of an actual Smash Brothers, and I wouldn't want it in place of an actual. I mean, I've never really played Jump Stars, Jump Force properly. I will be getting this next one because the cast of characters looks absolutely incredible. It's going to have Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, obviously Naruto, Sasuke, just some great characters, and I'm really hoping they have Orochimaru in there as well, and just have some really compelling battles. But yeah, I wouldn't want it in place of a Smash Brothers because I love Smash Brothers. I've had every single one since it's ever came out. But you know, if they brought out Smash Brothers Ultimate and said 1 year down the line we're going to bring out this crossover one with Jump Stars, I'd be fine with that. Will Broly become a Z fighter? Asked John Downing. Now, this is an interesting question because I don't think they'll kill Broly off in this movie. It's very possible that he will, and obviously I think he'll be defeated come the end of the movie, but it's also very possible that he might defeat himself because given what we found out about Kale in the Dragon Ball Super manga, this Berserk transformation, this legendary Super Saiyan transformation just keeps powering up until they eventually self-implode. And if he self-implodes, Universe 7's in trouble. But yeah, I mean, if they manage to stop him somehow, there's no reason why he can't become a Z warrior or a Dragon warrior, if you know what I'm saying. But I won't mind if they save him, but he somehow goes off and, you know, becomes another force to be reckoned with in the universe, but not necessarily a friend to the Z fighters and not necessarily a friend to the Frieza Force. But then we get like this, I don't know, maybe you could make the Broly Force or something like that. Odin asks, what do you think is the best non-canon movie? Example, Dragon Fist and Soul Punisher. Oh right, I get, I get what you was asking now, Soul Punisher. I mean Jaheim, about the Soul Punisher. For some reason, I thought you was talking about a different character from another verse there. All right, so yeah, the Soul Punisher basically cleanses a person of their evil spirit, whatever. It's just a plot-induced move. I'm not really sure why I didn't make that link actually, but yeah, how powerful it is, who really knows? It's just a plot-contrived move. Nothing's really been mentioned about it in the Daizenshu. I mean, it has a slight bit of information, but not in terms of its power. I think we could see the Soul Punisher in this movie, actually. I think that's actually even more likely than the Dragon Fist. But, yeah. But in terms of the best move, probably the Dragon Fist, for me. My personal favourite. I do like the Dragon Fist. But one thing I would like to know is what happens to those dragon-type moves that we saw in Battle of Gods? Remember when Beerus and Goku were clashing and they were making those huge key dragon-like things? What happened to those? Why don't they use those anymore? I mean, they must have been useful for something if they used them in the first place. I don't know. Where was I? Right. Goku Black has plot potential, so does Hit. Alright, is this another response? Guys, please do at the person you're responding to so that I know not to read it. Super Saiyan Blue and Ultra Instinct Gogeta will face Broly, says Mr. J. Very likely. Gogeta was found in data mining for the upcoming Dragon Ball Xenoverse expansion, something like that. And if he's in the movie, and he's alongside Broly in that data mining as well, And obviously Broly's already on Xenoverse, so it's got to be the Dragon Ball Super movie Broly. When Gogeta's coming out alongside him and given all the hints we've had down the line, for example, we had the 4D ride in Japan where Goku fuses to beat God Broly. We've had what else did we have? There was something else. There's been quite a few things that have kind of suggested Gogeta will be in this movie, and it's looking very likely. But yeah, I mean, I did make a video on why Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, based on all the information we have about the Meta-Round fusion, wouldn't actually be enough to beat Broly if Broly's going to be even stronger than Jiren. But Ultra Instinct Gogeta obviously will be. But Ultra Instinct obviously would be even more draining for a fusion than Super Saiyan Blue would. And Super Saiyan Blue, as we know with Vegito, really drains a fusion. But then again, they could play on the fact that Ultra Instinct only really comes out when Goku's literally lost all of his energy. It's not like a natural energy source like Super Saiyan. Not a natural energy source, I guess you could say. That's the wrong word to use. But it's not like a regular ki. For all we know, all it really works on is heat, which doesn't make sense. I'm sure there's a far bigger explanation to it than that, but we've not had it yet. Should Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had beaten the Mega Shenron, Goku would have died. I don't know. Back at that point, the fusions burning out wasn't such an overdone thing. It now feels like an overdone thing because we had Gogeta, Gotenks, and now we've had Vegito Blue do it. I mean, Vegito Blue pretty much beat Buhon, but he had to get inside him, to save basically Gohan, Goten, and Trunks before he decimated Buu. And obviously he diffused inside Buu, but he didn't really diffuse before he could beat Buu. He just decided to, go a different route because he could have beaten Buu at any point in that fight. But obviously he diffused against Merge Zamasu because Merge Zamasu was immortal. He had to break down the immortality. It now just feels like a trope that's been done too many times, that they keep diffusing before they defeat the villain. And I don't want to see that again in this movie because it's already happened so many times. But like I say, with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, it didn't feel like such a trope back then because it had only been done once with Gotenks. And obviously you saw the Fusion Reborn movie, Gogeta slaps Janemba. But yeah, I mean, it would have been good if Gogeta would have beat Omega Shenron, but Dragon Ball GT had nice moments here and there, but it did far too much wrong for me. Jaheim Young says he still wishes Sega and TMS Entertainment would make a Sonic X anime film, like reboot the entire series. I mean, I would never lose hope. Sonic will always make money, so there's always a chance that there'll be a new series down the line. I think what Sonic really needs right now is a top-notch game to come out that puts it back at the top levels of gaming, because don't get me wrong, some of the new Sonic games are good, but it hasn't quite reached the heights it was when I was younger, when it was on Mega Drive and Sega Saturn. Not so much Sega Saturn, but Dreamcast as well. I mean, people look back at Sonic Adventure with a negative aspect, and I don't really understand it. I thought it was a great game when it came out. Maybe it was because I was a kid, and I'm sure if people play it now, it'll feel very dated, but the story in that game was great. Will Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku beat Broly or not? Please give your opinion. I think Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku would, but I think he'd have to learn how to tap into it at will. I don't think it would last long enough to beat Broly, because I did make a video on why Broly potentially will beat Ultra Instinct Goku, because there's a time limit on Ultra Instinct. It didn't actually last that long in the Tournament of Power. It was 30 seconds to a minute at best. And it seems that the more he uses that pure progress-like ability, the quicker it drains him. But if he learns to tap into Mastered Ultra Instinct at will, or Complete Ultra Instinct, whatever you want to call it, because technically if you can't tap into it at will, it's not actually mastered, is it? Like Whis has. Whis has 24/7 Ultra Instinct. He's just in Ultra Instinct at all points of time. That's really what I would consider Mastered Ultra Instinct. But obviously what Goku's transformation is a complete Ultra Instinct. It's just a transformation for a mortal. But if you can learn to tap into it at will, like it appears Vegeta can with Blue Evolution, then yeah, I think he'd be able to beat Broly with something like that. But I think if he can only tap into it for like 10 to 30 seconds, it'll probably beat Broly down for that amount of time. But then obviously the toll of the transformation will be too much for his mortal body again. And as soon as that happens, I think Broly will murder him. Okay, guys, I'm just going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Just going to have a glass of water. Okay, I'm back. Guys, if one of you could just let me know in the chat section. I actually set up like a live stream of images to actually show on your screen. Are they actually showing, or is it just a picture of Bardock in the top left corner on a planet? Because I spent so long putting together this slideshow of images, and if it's not showing, I'm going to be a bit annoyed. But yeah, just let me know in the comment section, because all I can see is this picture of Bardock in the top left corner. I swear, I literally just spent 15 minutes putting together a whole slideshow, and OBS, which I use for the live stream, seems to have just ignored everything I've done. Okay, so where was I? And guys, just before I continue, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, I do post a lot on those social media platforms, especially Twitter, to be honest. So if you want to come follow me on those social media platforms, the links are actually in the information section to this live stream. Yeah, come follow me on those. And then I do post a lot about Dragon Ball as well on those social media platforms, other than the things I actually talk about in the videos. So yeah, if you want to talk about Dragon Ball and keep up with Sayacon as well, come follow me on Twitter. Jaheim Young says he meant Turles Broly would face. I mean, if they were to bring Turles in it, I'm not really sure how they could make a story giving Turles a lot of power. Obviously, there's the Tree of Might. But how would they justify God levels of power with that? I mean, I guess they could, because the tree is just a plot device, really, and it could make you as powerful as the writer wants it to. But would it be an interesting story? I think the tree. I think one thing that could be cool is a reference to Turles maybe being one of Bardock's friends on Planet Vegeta, maybe an escapee or somebody who forsook the Saiyans. Would be cool. So he exists in the verse, and maybe. I mean, there kind of has been a reference to the Tree of Might in Universe 9, because the Tree of the Dangers were eating one of those fruits against Majin Buu, weren't they? And they kept powering up. I think that was a bit of a Easter egg to the Tree of Might. But yeah, I'm not sure how they would make an intriguing story around Turles anymore, really. Black Paradox says Broly Jiren. That's correct. That was told to us in a Jump Festa magazine in France. Not Jump Festa magazine. It was a Jump magazine, but it was a French translation. That Broly is going to be the strongest villain that Goku and Vegeta have ever faced. So obviously that means Jiren and Beerus, because it didn't necessarily say villain. It just means the strongest opponent, antagonist that they've ever faced. Giovanni Yancy says live action movies. He's talking about the Transformers movies. Okay, I mean, yeah, I find it difficult to believe that they'd make a movie 3 hours like a live action movie can sort of get away with it if it's good enough. I'm not really sure an animated movie can. I'm sure there's been something like Toy Story that has done it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to make it 3 hours. I can understand why they've not made it 3 hours, but at the same time, I do want to know everything else that's in Toriyama's script for the movie. So if they did make an arc based on that extra information, I'd be okay with that. In fact, if they'd have done that originally with Battle of Gods and added a lot extra to it, I'd have been okay with that. And they really needed to do it with the Resurrection of S Saga, but they failed to do it. So I don't know. I can understand why people wouldn't want a retelling of the Broly movie in a new series. But at the same time, if we were to get that extra information that was in Toriyama's original manuscripts, I'd be okay with it. How do you think Broly will be defeated? Asks Jordan Aaron. Well, good question. I think he'll self-destruct, or he will be about to self-destruct. I don't think anyone will beat him. I honestly don't. If you have to ask me now what my prediction is, I don't think anybody will beat Broly. I don't. Obviously, I think Whis probably would. But obviously, Whis can't get involved. He's not allowed to get involved in mortal fights unless he breaks some sort of law, which I highly doubt will happen in this movie. Maybe Gogeta, if we do get, I think we will get Gogeta. If Gogeta appears in the movie, I think Gogeta will probably be out fighting him and being overpowering him. But I can definitely see him defusing again, which I really don't want to happen. But I've got a feeling it will happen. But my inclination now is that Broly will probably self-destruct. Or he'll be about to self-destruct and there'll be some sort of plot device that stops him self-destructing. But I think he'll beat everyone. I can honestly see him coming across Beerus and beating Beerus if they do come across each other. Though there's another thing I think could happen, and that's that Frieza goes to challenge Beerus in this movie, because Frieza has a motive in this movie, and I don't think it will necessarily be fighting Broly for the whole movie. Delexi says hello again. Hello, Delexi. Black Paradox says Kumba over Whis. I think what it means is Kumba's stronger than Whis. In Xenoverse, in Heroes, I don't think he is. But obviously, if you're comparing Xeno Kumba versus Dragon Ball Super Whis, then yeah. Though actually, that could be questionable. I mean, Kumba is, yeah, actually, no, I agree, actually. I agree, Black Paradox, he would be. But Whis potentially is higher dimensional. But there's just nothing to assert it yet. Has the trailer dropped yet? I'm a little confused. No, this is just a hype video, Shane, for the actual trailer that's coming out in 2 days' time. But yeah, it's just to talk about what we would like to see in this trailer. Bardock looks likely to be appearing in this trailer along with Gine, as well as, from what I've heard, it's going to feature a lot about Paragus as well, the father of Broly. But hopefully we get other little snippets. Hopefully we'll see Gohan. Who wants to see Gohan in this trailer? But as I keep mentioning, there's other characters that should be involved in this movie as well, because it would make no sense for Earth to be in danger and certain Z warriors not to get involved. It would no longer make any sense for Android 17 to take a back seat, which is what my video tomorrow is going to be about. I've also spoke about Gohan being in this movie and fighting Broly. There's no reason why Gohan would take a back seat anymore. Don't get me wrong, they'll all get beat, but there's no reason why they wouldn't stand up and try and defend the Earth when they have things to protect. I know Piccolo's going to be in this movie, but then obviously there's Android 17 as well. Yes, and there's Majin Buu. Why would Majin Buu do nothing unless he's asleep? And that's another trope I don't want to see happen, along with the defusion against a villain. Do you think Broly old is stronger or weaker than Omega Shenron? Broly is nigh universal, mind you. From Paragus' statement, he's going to destroy the universe. No, I don't. I don't think Z movie Broly is nigh universal. I think he could destroy the universe over a period of time. He was destroying a galaxy over a short period of time. So he was a threat to another galactic quadrant within a short period of time. So if he's a threat to two galactic quadrants within his lifetime, and obviously Saiyans live approximately or are at their physical peak for 80 years, then he's taken out a universe pretty quickly. So if you mean non-universal by that means, then yeah, but if you mean it by one-shotting, etc., then no. But Omega Shenron, you know what? That's actually a closer battle than I think I've ever realised, Godly Ninja. That's a good point. I might actually look into that. But at the same time, if you ask me now, I'd probably say Omega Shenron. But you know what? Broly doesn't get enough credit from those original Z movies because the Z movie characters are just a lot stronger than the actual mainstream continuity timeline characters. I think the difference is really though is because the mainstream continuity has a lot of context to how they're getting stronger. People care more about those characters because they have that context and reason why they're that strong. Whereas things like the movies and heroes, it's just plot convenience. I mean, there is definitely plot convenience in the mainstream continuity as well, but especially in heroes in the movies, it's absolute plot convenience, and it doesn't really make sense why they got that strong. But you know, Junichi Kanemaru, the current Japanese voice actor of Sonic, is better than Masako Nozawa. That's a bold statement, Jaheim. I've not heard the original Japanese voice actor of Sonic that much, but I can say I'm a professionally trained actor, and Masako Nozawa is absolutely phenomenal as a voice actress. And I'm saying that as a person who cannot even understand what she's saying. She gets the context of the scenes right so many times. She conveys that even across a language barrier, which is really, really impressive. And that really does take a lot of work on the acting and your acting abilities. I mean, she's getting on now, but and with experience in acting, the better you get, basically. But yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about Kanemaru, and maybe she or she is an absolutely fantastic voice actor. But I can honestly say, from an actor point of view, that Masako Nozawa is absolutely fantastic as well. Xenocyte says, imagine if Mystic Gohan can stack Super Saiyan. Well, yeah, that was a big debate for a long, long time, especially up until episode 88 of Dragon Ball Super, when it appeared that the ultimate transformation is actually stacked on top of Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2. But actually, what I propose is that he can still stack Super Saiyan on top. It's just that all he was really doing in episode 88 was... This is a really hard thing to describe, so I hope you get what I mean by this, but he was kind of bringing all his Super Saiyan 2 power and more back down into his base. Yeah, I'm struggling. I wasn't, because I'm answering these questions off the cuff. I'm struggling to articulate this in the best way. But I hope you get what I'm saying, is that Ultimate is very akin to his base form, but he has access to all of his power and then some. So basically he has access to all of his Super Saiyan power. But if he could... I don't know, it's almost like a mind state transformation, the ultimate form, very similar to Ultra Instinct in that regard. And I've talked about that in previous videos as well. But yeah, it almost seemed like in episode 88, he kind of had to change his mind state. Piccolo forced him to bring out the warrior side of him again, which allowed him to access the ultimate form. But I don't think he ever will use Super Saiyan stacked on top of Ultimate, because he said in episode 90 that he's going to use a different method. And obviously nothing ever came of that. We didn't see anything really from Gohan in the Tournament of Power. In fact, the things that he did do were very meh, really. But yeah, I have explained what I mean by him kind of reverting back down into the ultimate form, but ultimately gaining access to his full power in another video. I definitely did it far more articulately than I just did then. Okay, so I just lost where I am. Just give me a moment to get back. Wow, lots of comments today, guys. Thank you. I'll try and get... Because I've only got 10 minutes left, I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit and give shorter answers, because I want to answer as many of you guys' questions as possible. Just give me one moment. Just going to have a quick glass of water, and then we're on the final lap. Okay, so, right, where was I? Right, H. Did you notice how much attention Vegeta's been getting? First the Super Saiyan God form, then they tell us he will have a main role. Do you think Vegeta could win this time? Well, it has been said that he's going to be a lot cooler in this movie, and he's not going to just be the guy that gets beat up or a gag character. So I think he's definitely going to have a major impact on this movie. Will he win? I don't know. Like I said earlier in this live stream, I think Broly will ultimately defeat himself. But yeah, I mean, Vegeta's definitely going to have a big role to play in this movie. It's definitely going to be interesting considering this movie revolves around Saiyans, and obviously it's the Saiyan Prince, and it's going to go back into the Saiyan history and lore. So we'll be revisiting his Saiyan ancestors. So the movie will have a lot of implications for Vegeta, and Vegeta did just have a major arc, really, in terms of the Tournament of Power, where you actually saw he cares about the other Saiyans, at least the Universe 6 Saiyans. But it does make you wonder what his thoughts are on the Universe 7 Saiyans now that he's seen these new Saiyans who are far more powerful than the Universe 7 Saiyans, but they don't live the same kind of lives, if you understand what I mean. They are much kinder and they're a lot stronger for it because of the S cells, etc. And obviously Goku and Goku's sons as well on planet Earth and his own son, Trunks, they're a lot stronger because they're kinder. They still have a warrior mentality. Well, not Gohan, but they still have a warrior mentality. But, you know, they don't fight to hurt. They fight for the fun of fighting. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting movie for Vegeta. Old Broly is definitely weaker than Omega Shenron, says Nico Duignan. Yeah, off the cusp, I would definitely say that. But, you know, Broly was destroying galaxies pretty quickly, a galactic quadrant pretty quickly within his lifetime. That is pretty impressive. But at the same time, Omega Shenron was decaying a universe over a short period of time as well. So yeah, I mean, off the cusp, I would go Omega Shenron, but actually, it could be closer than at least what I originally thought. I don't know what you was originally thinking, but yeah, definitely. Metacooler is in a different timeline than the second movie Broly. Is he? If Broly can be beat by Super Saiyan 2 Omega Shenron, can he be beat by Super Saiyan 4? Omega Shenron is stronger. Good point. Who would win? 17 versus Merge Zamasu? I say Zamasu barely. I mean, 17 would strategically dominate Merge Zamasu. But then again, Zamasu was a clever guy. He kind of just lost his head. I mean, he had an erection for gods, didn't he? So, Merge Zamasu would definitely win, I think. I don't think Android 17 would just... I don't know. I can't see how Android 17 could win that fight. I can't see how he could win that fight. Merge Zamasu is just too powerful for him. Even with Android 17's unlimited energy and his strategic dominance, Merge Zamasu is immortal. You have to hit Merge Zamasu's immortality does break down over time because of the Goku Black Impact part of him. But at the same time, you still have to hit him with massive amounts of power. And that's why Goku and Vegeta had to fuse to do that. Because they could see that it would break down if they hit him really hard. And that's why, I mean, people always say, well, didn't Goku knock Merge Zamasu down and hurt Merge Zamasu with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken? Yeah, he knocked him down. But Goku literally said after that, even after taking a sensory beam, so he would have been fully recovered. He could have used Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 or even times 20. As Krillin said in the Tournament Power, Goku would only use Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 if he could bear using it, if his opponent would be strong enough to use it against. Merge Zamasu would definitely have been in that category, at least in comparison to the Goku Back in the Future Trunks arc. Because obviously he got a lot more powerful by the Tournament of Power. But yeah, Goku literally said, without fusion, him and Vegeta, after taking a sensory beam, stands no chance against Merge Zamasu. They knew they stood no chance. So those beam struggles were literally just Merge Zamasu holding back quite a lot. And we've seen a lot of suppression in the Dragon Ball Super series. Do you think that's a different timeline, not a valid argument? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you think Goku can use the Dragon Fist with Ultra Instinct or Mastered Ultra Instinct? Well, basically, no, I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if they do bring it in this movie, but they'd have to give a reason for him to learn the Dragon Fist. As far as I'm aware, anything within the mainstream canonicity, there's nothing suggesting that he ever learnt the Dragon Fist. Who are the better martial artists, not power-wise, Naruto or DB series? I say Naruto. Oh man, this is a, a heated topic. Who would I say? Um, in terms of pure martial arts, I think Goku would. If Goku was in Naruto, now I have been planning on doing this video, I just never seem to get round to it. I can't remember his name. I've completely forgot his name. Who's the guy that can open the 8 gates? If anyone can remind me quickly. The 8 gates. He used it against Six Paths Madara and literally hammered him. And Madara said he was the best ninjutsu user ever. The name's just completely gone from me right now, even though he's actually one of my favourite characters in Naruto. I will literally remember it in 1 minute, I know I would. Might Guy, that's it. Thank you, Eric Baker. Yeah. The thing is, I was thinking Rock Lee, Metal Lee, but I was like, no, that's not the actual guy. They're they're the people he, well, not Metal Lee, but they're the people he trained. Well, Rock Lee was. But yeah, I think Goku would be Might Guy if he was in the what's it world, the Naruto world. I mean, he would most likely know other forms of attacks in there as well. But yeah, I mean, so I think martial arts wise, the Dragon Ball characters, in terms of pure martial arts, the Dragon Ball characters would probably be better than the Naruto characters. Not all of them. Maybe not someone like Might Guy, who's like just next level shit in terms of ninjutsu. But who would I say are better technically? Then I would say Naruto, and I know that's going to be controversial. Gohan in Metacooler movie is still a kid that leads up to Cell fight Vegeta. I'm really confused why people are bringing up Metacooler. I can't even remember talking about Metacooler. Do you believe the Gogeta fusion, if it does happen in the new Broly movie, does it not seem that Gogeta's overconfidence, which is a Goku problem, would be their downfall, says Edgar Grimaldino. Yeah, definitely it could be. I mean, it was his downfall against Omega Shenron in Dragon Ball GT. Obviously, if they do bring Gogeta into the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, it will be the first canon Gogeta. Well, at least canon to Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball GT is actually a canon show. It's just canon to itself. It's not canon to Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, it definitely could be if they go down that route. Depends how they repackage Gogeta. If they repackage Gogeta, which I imagine they would do as the repackaging Broly. But depends what route they go down. Okay, guys, I'm going to answer lots of questions with one word answers. I know I said that 10 minutes ago, but I keep losing my head and giving long answers because I want to answer as many of these questions. Okay, 5 minutes. Black Adam versus Beerus. Ooh, damn it! You're making me have to think. I'd have to think about that one, to be honest. So I'm going to pass on that, Eric, because I don't want to. I'm not. I'd probably go with Beerus, to be honest, with the Hakai. But is UI draining and straining like Kaioken technique would drain the user energy? They would die. I think it just has a different kind of strain on your body than Kaioken, really. But they're both straining at the minute. I think you'd be able to learn Ultra Instinct. It becomes more part of your natural movement. Like Whis has it, like the constant Ultra Instinct. But you can't do that with Kaioken, for example. So yeah, I think UI can become not part of your natural life, whereas I don't think Kaioken can. I mean, they even lived in Super Saiyan for quite a long time. That's how they become mastered Super Saiyan, not mastered Super Saiyans, fully powered Super Saiyans in the Cell games. Mr. J says, I think since Xenoverse 2, the two versions of Gogeta and the Data Mine, and one of them has Soul Punisher, and then they'll use that umbrella to turn him good. And I think they'll give Soul Punisher to UI Gogeta. That's very possible. I think that could be a scenario that happens. I think maybe Broly will give in to the demonic side of his transformation, and maybe he'll be about to explode, but the Soul Punisher will stop him. That would be an interesting story, definitely. Ultra Instinct isn't a form. Actually, it is. It was even called a transformation in Dragon Ball Super. I provided the scan plenty of times in my videos. But yeah, I mean, Ultra Instinct itself is an ability, but Goku needs to transform to use that ability. You get what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, Edgar. Come on, guys, like the video. This man is doing great on answering questions and keeping us posted. Thank you. Yeah, please do give the video, the live stream, a like. The more people that like this video, I think YouTube promote these live streams more, and we'll get more and more people asking questions, etc., and more people joining in the discussions. And I'll lose my voice even more. I'm joking. Hypothetically, Kaioken Ultra Instinct could happen, but you'd die. Very true. I just turned 25. Sweet, I feel old. Well, you're not as old as me, Daniel Donaldson. I think Ultra Instinct gets stronger as Goku gets stronger. I would imagine so, yeah. Does Cell have infinite ki and stamina because he absorbed 17? He didn't. But, that was a massive plot hole from Dragon Ball Z. It never really made that much sense. Well, I guess you could make sense of it. But you would imagine he would have infinite stamina. I guess Android 17 and Android 18 don't have the same kind of ki as Cell did, because Cell actually had regular ki like Goku, Vegeta, etc. Whereas Android 17 and 18 didn't actually have regular ki, so maybe they could make a point of that why Cell didn't have infinite ki. I mean, it's not so much infinite ki. He has unlimited ki, but you can only put out a certain output at a time. That's why he can't just one-shot absolutely everybody. If he could put out unlimited ki in one go in terms of output, then, he'd be pretty unstoppable. But he has kind of a limit to how much he can put out. And I imagine with training, he can expand that limit. Shouldn't Future Trunks have the Z Sword if he trained with the Supreme Kai in the future? I think he had the Z Sword in the Dragon Ball Super manga, didn't he? He trained with the Z Sword, and I think Dabba returned that sword to stone or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I read that saga in the manga. But I actually preferred how they told the the future Majin Buu story in the Future Trunks timeline in the manga. But I preferred the overall Future Trunks saga in the anime more because they didn't bitch out Trunks like they did in the manga, like Toyotaro did in the manga. It's just Bardock in the corner. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry about that, guys. I did actually have a massive slideshow of images, especially from the first trailer of the Broly movie, so I apologise on the visual limits of this live stream. Edgar says, merge the Master with Merc, 17 with ease. Wow, I'm really behind on these questions. Okay, quickly. Cell doesn't have infinite power, he's more biological and has no power generator. That's what I probably should have said. Just Bardock in the top left corner, says Edgar. Once again, I'm sorry about that. Should Cooler avenge Bojack, Unbound, and Wrath of the Dragon have been a coincide canon to Dragon Ball Z Saga's ending? I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Are you saying it should they be canon to Dragon Ball Z? It'd be hard to fit Cooler in now, especially given the old Golden Frieza story. I guess I wouldn't completely rule out Cooler being made canon in some aspects. They don't necessarily have to make an arc about them. They could just reference them being part of the world. Maybe they could have a flashback to King Cold telling Frieza about a brother who died, etc. Maybe that could be a big reason why they don't like the Saiyans. BoJack and Bound would have actually worked really well with the storyline of Dragon Ball Z. It would have fit in. That's why it's probably one of my favourite movies, because it makes the most sense logically. There's some little tweaks you'd have to make, but I really like the BoJack and Bound story. And because it didn't necessarily focus on Goku, it focused on the other Z Warriors mainly. You did see Goku at some points, but it focused on the other warriors. I just really liked that part of it. Where is the second trailer? Says Soldier Style. Soldier Style 94. It's coming out on Friday at the New York Comic Con. Do you think 17 and 18 grow stronger during a battle like Saiyans? I don't think they do, but I do really want to know how 17's managed to get so strong. But there was a special for the Dragon Ball Super manga, and I don't know if this necessarily has any impact on the anime, but he has actually been keeping the Cell Juniors on his Ranger Island. He's kind of been like, what's the word for it? He's been taming them. He's been taming the Cell Juniors. So that would be pretty good training to have, to be fair. But I don't know if it actually applies to the anime, because obviously there's that line between the anime and the manga as to what actually you can use and what you can't use. It doesn't contradict anything though, so they could go in that direction. I kind of hope they do actually, because 17 being as strong as he is, okay, they could make a bit of an argument for it. He was actually stronger than Final Form Frieza when he came to, not even Final Form Frieza, Mecha Frieza. He was even stronger than Mecha Frieza in the Android saga. So if he's been training all this time while Frieza's only trained for 4 months, why wouldn't he be that strong? But at the same time, it makes no sense why he wouldn't stand up to the likes of Majin Buu in the Buu saga, or why he didn't come about when Beerus was, about to erase the planet. Should Lord Slug call a Cell, since I want him to help Frieza against Broly's Super Janemba? What, all of the villains together against Broly? Well, if they don't power up quite a lot, I think they'll all get beat at once as well. Sheldon Costa, do you reckon Dragon Ball Super, where the female villain was the main villain in Dragon Ball Super? Well, there hasn't been yet, but in Dragon Ball FighterZ, there's Android 21. And I thought she was a pretty good villain. She was created by Akira Toriyama as well. 17 and 18 literally can't get weaker. The only way to beat them is to have a higher power or kill them somehow. Absolutely correct. When it comes, it's really difficult to kill the androids. Really, really difficult. There was something about Cell, I think. I'm not sure, that kind of just made them go a bit limp. They didn't really seem to be able to fight back against Cell at all. But that may have been something done by Dr. Jiro. When it comes on DVD, will it be on the bonus scenes, the extra hour footage? I don't think they're creating the extra hour footage. I think that was just in the original manuscript. They might have done. Maybe they've created bonus scenes with Akira Toriyama's extra information, but I don't think it will actually be in the in a DVD. But I think if they do make a new series and they do decide to retell the Broly movie story, which I won't be surprised if they do, because it really just means more money for Toei, and let's face it, Toei just want money, then they could use that extra information or that extra script to span out an arc for a future series. Do you think Oob should be canon to the main continuity of Dragon Ball Super in 2019? I think he will be. I think Oob is definitely an upcoming arc in the very near future. Is there anything DBS does better than DBZ? Me personally, I like how DBS has more tacitus. I think you mean tactics. I think, Z is my favourite Dragon Ball series. But I think Super gets more criticism than it deserves at points, but it does need to improve if it comes back. And there are definitely critiques that it deserves as well. The biggest critique I'll have about Dragon Ball Super is the storytelling's too vague at times. And you almost have to unearth some of the story aspects in Dragon Ball Super Um, uh, what would I say is better? Some of the fights are absolutely brilliant in Dragon Ball Super, so I would definitely put those forward. One thing it doesn't quite capture that Dragon Ball Z captured is the emotional intensity of a fight. I'm not I'm not quite sure they hit the levels of the Gohan vs Cell fight in terms of emotional intensity, but in terms of the choreography of the fight scenes, I think it actually surpasses Z in terms of some of the fights. That Jiren vs Ultra Instinct Goku fight was just next level. But I mean, it does. The slice of life episodes are great in Dragon Ball Super as well. They're good. I think if the Goku Black saga was done correctly and it ended well, it would be as good as any arc in Dragon Ball Z as well. Unfortunately, it just didn't end well at all. It really didn't end well. Fell off a cliff. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of good things. There's lots of good things about Super. I would say it's better than GT by a comfortable margin. Even though I think the Baby Saga in GT was good, the rest of it was pretty lackluster. But you know, yeah, Dragon Ball Super was a good show. That's what I'd say about Dragon Ball Super. It was a good show, but if it comes back, it needs to improve. Whis is 40. 40 is basic time power of time hacks. Black is 60, but not multiversal. I think Goku Black's sixth dimensional. I don't think Black is sixth dimensional. Is Tarball canon when Bulma mentions him in Battle of Gods? Yeah. Wait, did she mention him in the movie though, or was that actually in the series? I actually can't remember. If it was in the series, then yeah, Tarball's canon. In fact, yeah. Toriyama kind of created Tarball, so I imagine he's absolutely canon. Okay, guys, my voice is starting to go. I know I said 3 more minutes about 15 minutes ago, but this really is the final 3 minutes. It's actually like nearly 2 a.m. in the morning here as well in the UK, so I could really do with going to bed. What title do you think is coming out for the next Dragon Ball game next year in 2019? Dragon Ball Raging Blast 3 or the concepts by Treevax or Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 or combined with 2? As Soldier Style 94, I would like to see Xenoverse 3. I like the Xenoverse games. Don't get me wrong, they're not perfect games. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a better made game than Xenoverse 3, but I feel like the 3D fighting system suits what I imagine fighting in Dragon Ball would be like, much closer than a 2D game or a 2.5D game that Dragon Ball FighterZ is. Tarball still canon. He's made by Toriyama and the Yosun Goku Return. Yeah, exactly. He said it better than I did. I think the future DB game would be a Sonic the Hedgehog and Dragon Ball crossover. It would be cool. I don't think that'll ever happen though. I can make a good argument for why Omega Broly. Sure, Omega has no actual universal level feat, even though he is high multi-galaxy, but Broly will destroy the universe much, much faster. Possibly. I'll you know what, Godly Ninja, I might visit that in a video. I might discuss that in a video. Sometimes I can give a quick fire answer, but at the same time, sometimes you do just need to, get all your facts straight and get all your information straight and make sure it all fits in line with what you are actually going to give that quick fire answer on. I wish Vegeta would get his own spin-off Dragon Ball game or manga, just like Shadow the Hedgehog did in 2005, since that game sucks. I mean, I think Dragon Ball should do spin-off series anyway. Like 6-episode series. A 6-episode series on, say, the legendary assassin Hit and his assassinations, etc. would be awesome. A backstory on Jiren, 6 episodes, awesome. Imagine, we'd all buy that, wouldn't we? We'd all buy that. We'd all love to see that. And it'd give those characters a bit more depth without them actually having to go into it too much in the series. I mean, they could go into it in the series as well, really. They should do. But, if they don't want to, just give us a little spin-off on that character. Who do you think is stronger, Vegito Blue 20,000 or Gogeta Blue Evolution? I'm guessing you're meaning Vegito Blue Kaioken times 20. If you're talking about current Vegito, based on the information we have, I'd say Vegito. But if they do bring Gogeta in to the Dragon Ball Super movie, I imagine Gogeta is going to get retconned quite a bit. Well, at least the information we have, because all that information really is just referring to the Dragon Ball Z movies and Dragon Ball GT, which, like I keep saying, isn't canon to Dragon Ball Super. And they're not going to bring Gogeta back to just get walloped. He might defuse before he can beat Broly, but I don't think he'll get beat or outfought. Then you realise Legendary Super Saiyan stacks on top of Super Saiyan. Say Broly has grade 4 Super Saiyan, then uses it. Then he gets Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3, then stacks Legendary Super Saiyan. That's an interesting way to look at it, yeah. If you can do that, then... Yeah, I mean, it's being heavily implied that this Legendary Super Saiyan transformation is actually just Berserk. There was an article in one of the Jump magazines that literally put Broly and Kale together in the same sentence and talked about this thing called Boju, which is rage or anger and berserkness, basically. So I think Broly's transformation will be pretty much Berserk that Kale had, or maybe the ultimate Berserk transformation or something like that. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day because my voice is going and it's now 10 to 2 a.m. I'm sorry if I've not been able to answer any more questions that you've asked, but there's been a lot of questions tonight, and I do thank you all. I can see somebody asking if we have a Discord. I do have a Discord, but at the moment I'm only using it for organising an event called Saicon, which will be a UK Dragon Ball convention that will be in 2019. So if you're on Twitter, come follow me on Twitter, and if I do set up a server on Discord properly where I can talk to you guys, I'll let you know on Twitter. But ultimately, at the moment, I only use Discord to organise this Saicon event. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot. As you can hear, my voice is really, really going now. Tomorrow night, before the Broly movie comes out, I know the Broly movie, not the Broly movie comes out, what am I talking about? Before the Broly trailer comes out, I'm going to be talking about the possibility of Android 17 stepping up and fighting against Broly, because not a lot of people have talked about it, and you know, he should have to step up. I'd love to see that motherfucking strategic genius step up against Broly. He'll lose, of course, but you know, it'll be cool to see. The trailer's coming out on Friday, Trey Simpson. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I love you all. Please do smash that like button as well, and hopefully we can get these live streams even more buzzing. But thank you all.